Hey y'all, you know that song that Cyndi Lauper sings about girls only wanting to have fun? Actually, you probably don't know what song I'm talking about because that song's older than I am and you guys probably already think that I'm ancient. Anyways, it's a good song. Sadly, the message isn't always true for girls today. We live in a time where not only do girls not get to have a lot of fun, but a time that can be really scary for girls. And even when it's not terrifying, it can still be really hard. That's why I'm talking to you by the light of this little interrogation lamp. I want to have a serious chat with you today about some tough stuff. I'd like to take the time to introduce you to three different girls who are dealing with some really tough stuff in their own lives. The kind of tough stuff that maybe you can relate to, and even in cases where you can't exactly relate, maybe through meeting these brave and inspiring young girls and hearing the harrowing stories in their lives, you can summon up the courage and be inspired to handle the tough stuff going on in your own lives. Though all of the girls we're meeting today are fictional, they have been created with the stories of real young women just like you in mind. Young women who struggle with body image, poverty, learning disabilities, and in some cases, even extreme loss. The names and the exact stories are fiction, but you can still think of these girls as real, because somewhere in the world there's a girl just like them. Maybe that girl's you. Today I want you to meet Zoe, Claudia, and Willa Dean, the respective protagonists of The Benefits of Being an Octopus by Ann Braden, Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D Jackson, and Dumplin by Julie Murphy. Have you ever wished you had 8 arms? In The Benefits of Being an Octopus, Zoe wishes she did, just like the big, tangly sea creature. And maybe, just maybe, she'd be able to juggle all of the responsibilities in her own life. She also wouldn't mind having the octopus's ability to camouflage, or the steady, unblinking focus they have. She's just a 7th grader, and she already has enough on her plate to exhaust a full-grown adult. As much as she'd like to be the kid in the class who eats a hearty breakfast every morning and has her assignments polished and ready to hand in, that just isn't the life she's been afforded. Zoe's mother works a minimum wage job, and the only reason they have a roof over their heads, along with the heads of Zoe's younger siblings, is because her mother's in a relationship with a man who verbally abuses her. Zoe is almost solely responsible for the care of her younger brother and sister, and this means she has little time to worry about schoolwork, and certainly doesn't have the time and energy to worry about the debate club that her meddling yet good-intentioned teacher would like for her to be a part of. If all of that doesn't sound like enough already, suddenly Zoe is forced to deal with the fact that somebody has brought a gun to her school and deal with all the mixed emotions that come with that unraveling that story. Not to mention, her friend Fuchsia has struggles she needs to keep an eye on. In Ann Braden's book, you'll confront what it means to be a girl trying and growing up in trying times for her family and for the world at large. Over the course of this tender coming-of-age story, Zoe isn't able to morph into an octopus like she craves, but she must work to summon the protective power of one if she wants to help the people in her life overcome their issues and escape abuse. Like her mother or her best friend. And maybe, just maybe, she'll use some of that courage she's got and on the school's debate team. A story peppered with the issues of poverty and domestic abuse against women and even gun control. Braden's story lays the tough stuff on in so many layers that you'll be the one wishing you had 8 arms to sort out all the feelings you have. You'll still need those 8 arms to sort out all the emotional baggage, and probably some tissue too, once you meet Claudia Coleman in Tiffany D Jackson's Monday's Not Coming. Claudia is a year older than Zoe and is about to enter 8th grade and plans to have the best year of her life. Times are always good with her best friend Monday Charles around, but suddenly her friend Monday isn't around. She isn't anywhere, in fact. She goes missing, and Claudia can't get a straight answer from anyone about where she's gone. She's not registered for school anymore, and Monday's own adult sister doesn't seem concerned. And Monday's mom? She's downright horrible to Claudia when she asks about Monday. But what's more horrible is facing life at school without Monday. Her friend had always been the one to help her with everything, both when it comes to speaking up to others who put her down and having a handle on her learning disability. Despite her own issues with dyslexia and being bullied, Claudia's number one objective in life becomes finding out exactly what happened to Monday and playing detective. Her mother seems concerned at her constantly playing investigator, and Mr. Charles seems paranoid. Claudia feels driven to the point of almost insanity by the fact that no one seems to care about what happens to Monday. She thinks she's losing her mind. By the novel's end, you'll understand why she feels so close to that brink. And a warning, it's not a pretty picture. Claudia's story is one that deals with learning disabilities, mental illness, post-traumatic stress disorder, race relations, extreme domestic violence, and child abuse. It's a heavy load to bear, but an important story to read. Because I'll tell you a horrible secret. Claudia's friend Monday is based on an actual girl who met the exact same fate that she did. You'll finally get to laugh a little bit when you meet Willa Dixon from Julie Murphy's refreshing novel, Dumplin. The daughter of a beauty queen and the resident of a small Texas town that lives and dies for the same pageant her mother won as a teen. The only thing is, Willa Dean isn't exactly what you'd consider the pageant type. You see, she's a fat girl. And yes, I meant to say that. She's a fat girl. Willa Dean is fat. She uses the word to describe herself, and she does it without shame. She's not your average girl, and this isn't your average book with an overweight heroine struggling with her size and killing herself trying to get skinny. Willa Dean is fine with being fat. She likes it. She's just ready for everyone else to change their minds, especially her mother. The book wouldn't fit with others if it wasn't ripe with tragedy. Before the events of the story, Willa Dean lost her beloved aunt to complications with obesity. She copes with the loss by indulging in their shared interest, an obsession with Dolly Parton and her music. Willa Dean's relationship with her mom is not as close and special as the one she had with her aunt. They don't have a lot in common, and her mother doesn't seem to know her at all. She doesn't even seem to realize that Willa Dean hates the nickname Dumplin, which is all her mother calls her, and where this novel gets its name. In addition to mom struggles, Willa Dean also has her share of other teen issues, like a rift with her increasingly conventionally beautiful best friend and the new boy who seems into her, even though he's a popular prep school hottie, and Dumplin has accepted her place as not being the kind of girl a boy like him could ever like. Struggling in her own skin for the first time ever, Willa Dean decides to take on her mother's beauty pageant and redefine what it means to be a beauty queen. Hers is a story filled with many different types of girls she meets along the way, girls who are different, but girls who all want the chance to stand out and be a star. Willa Dean will face love triangles, magic shows, and a whole lot of energetic drag queens who help her on her way to accepting and truly loving herself. She might even get around to understanding her mom as well, by the book's end, and finding a way to honor her aunt by belting out a Dolly Parton tune or two. The girls from these novels are faced with very different paths, as you can tell. However, all of their stories are told with a kind of vivid detail that isn't afraid to take you into an intense world and at times tell you unsettling narratives. I think as girls, or even boys who are on this winding path toward adulthood yourselves, that you're ready to handle these tales of hardship. The Benefits of Being an Octopus by Ann Braden, Monday is Not Coming by Tiffany D Jackson, and Dumplin by Jennifer Murphy will challenge you as much as they entertain you. But most importantly, hopefully they'll change you and make you see and understand new struggles that a girl can go through.